welcome everyone. It is the regular city council meeting for Monday, October 11, 2021. We'll call the meeting to order. If we could all stand up and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have roll call, please, Teresa?
Matt Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Approval of agenda. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding that? If not, can I have a motion for approval? Motion to approve. Second?
I'll second.
And roll call, please.
Matt Girardi.
Yep.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Peterson.
Yes.
Number 5, I believe we can skip. So number 6, the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding anything on there? Not, can I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion.
Second. And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Number 7, approve first reading of ordinance 2021-03, amending and replacing Title 6,
Yes.
Physical Environment, Chapter 15, Floodplain Management.
This is in our ordinances on floodplain management. There have been changes that are in regards to with FEMA and the DNR, and it helps with the insurance. So the changes the DNR made, it meets what they need. So if you have any questions, otherwise it's every city's being asked to do it in order to be compliant with FEMA.
How many, we have to do 3 readings?
We can approve the first reading and we can waive the second and third. I did not have anyone come into City Hall and have any comments.
This is just replacing, or is this
It's updating,
just
basically.
updating?
Updating, and we're just going to replace the whole chapter because there were changes. We didn't have definitions in ours. Now we've got definitions for the different terms.
So we still have,
You still have-
we're still included in the floodplain management system.
Correct. Correct. It's just that now they've made some changes, and so to be compliant, we just need to make sure we pass the ordinance. So once we've done that, I will send this along with the public notice we had in the paper, to the DNR, and then we'll be all good to go
Who's our spokesperson on that
from the DNR.
for floodplain management? We used to have, was it Doc?
No, Doc.
He was on the garbage.
He was garbage and recycling.
No,
I don't know that there is a.
when this first started, it was
I don't know.
tasked.
Patty was on something. I think
She's
that
on
was-
watershed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, she did the watershed.
I don't know of anything
That's
else.
different
That
than this.
So I guess one question I have, past this ordinance, are we following, I haven't been in every building, are we following the ordinance if we pass this?
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Like Teresa said.
It looks
this-
pretty basic. I mean,
Yeah,
I skimmed over it
this
earlier,
is
but-
something from the, federal.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I don't wanna pass an ordinance and then we're violating an ordinance
Oh,
on the building.
we're
That's what
not.
I'm getting at.
No.
Okay.
It is actually for FEMA for flood insurance.
Yeah, but it says in here like the water heater, if you have a water heater, it's gotta be, what's,
Mhm.
about a stupid wordage, I guess, or That's stupid wordage, but,
Details.
yeah, just,
Anybody else have any questions on anything in here?
no, looks like we need to update it.
Okay, any other further discussion needed? If not, I'll ask for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve ordinance 2021-03.
Second? Second. And roll call.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes. Okay, number 8, update on Marvin subdivision. We have Brandon.
Kyle,
Oh,
did anybody, do you want this on the agenda again?
oh,
And have a second, third, or do you
I
want to
guess
wait?
that's up to the council, what they feel is.
Yeah, otherwise we'll need a motion to waive the second and third reading.
I guess what's council's thoughts on that? Necessary to
Is
go
there,
through it 2 more times?
is there a timetable we have, is it?
January, we have to have it done.
I guess my thought is, if we have time, let's put it on the next agenda.
Thank you.
That way, if there is any issues or any concerns, that we can deal with that or bring that up, you know, that's my thought.
Seems reasonable.
If we're not in a rush,
Yeah.
What's that number motion, JT?
but
You don't have to.
we don't have to.
We'll just.
And it
go ahead.
happens automatically.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
okay, thanks Teresa for catching that. Okay, then we'll move on to number 8, Brandon Hanson is here, from BWC, and Mark Rudin is also here, from Origin Design, and they're going to update us on where we kind of sit, with the subdivision. So, guys?
Yeah, so we talked at the progress meeting, and if Brandon, I'll ask you, and this won't be a surprise to you, but maybe try to explain to the council, the original completion date was September 1st, they extended it to October 1st, and I know we were hoping for maybe October 15th after the October 1st went by. Maybe just kind of update as to what you've experienced out there and what you're thinking moving forward on how it's gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got started later than what we wanted to. Looking at all our projects, what we're doing now this year, compared to other years is, and talking with other contractors too, it seems like everybody's about a month behind on everything. And that's where we fall on a couple of our projects as well. This one and then another one we have in Solon. Not sure if it's more or less what we had carry over from last year, trying to get that finished up, and then everything just kind of kept snowballing. But kind of where we're sitting, I did talk with ENF today to see how this rain affected their paving schedule. Out there in the Cedar Rapids area, they're pretty much shut down because they're doing a lot of on dirt grade paving. So it sounds like ours is not getting shifted as much as we thought, depending on what Wednesday does. I know they're calling for rain, but if it doesn't, it sounds like they're still shooting for paving that main line on Thursday. He said worst case scenario, they'd get pushed back to Friday. He was actually in town today and looked over the site. They're kind of their superintendent, and he went and talked with Preston Ready Mix. So everything's all on board there. I told him, I said if they needed anything to get in and out of the site, because we know it's gonna be muddy just as they come in. I told him I'd get a skid loader there and plow everything off to get it to dry so that they can get in and out. And then, I mean, I know I had 2 pipe crews here. Did they get the production that I wanted them to? No. One crew is literally kind of a thrown together kind of a crew with country now is not very good, and, we pulled a lot of just kind of general labor guys out, trying to get them to be pipe layers. So, those were two of my better foremen. One for sure is my best foreman that we have. The other guy is probably our middle guy, but, they're both good. They both worked with each other, so the one foreman actually came from the other guy's crew, so he knew everything what he was doing. And I know we ran into issues with the water testing. I'm not sure what we had happen there. It was just strange that we had, one day we had it pass and the next day it didn't. But I think once we got it flushed out and kept flushing it, well, we got it to pass, so. I don't like to make excuses, and I'm not going to. I would have liked to have this job done by now. I mean, just being from around the area, wanted to have at least a job close to home and, you know, could say that, hey, we took care of that. We're still gonna take care of it. Once the paving's done, especially the main line, we'll come back in with our hoe and start putting black dirt around everything that they paved. So we'll be right on top of them. Gotten a hold of our seeder, kinda gave him a heads up. He'll be seeding right behind us. And I know that it's probably, some spots are not gonna take, so he's already on the books for spring to come in and reseed any spots that have not taken, so.
I guess my biggest fear up there is with everything's kind of done and set now, with the rain, with the weather we've kind of, and with more maybe expected here in the week, are we at risk at all of losing what we got up there?
No, we plan on having it all paved out. The base is, and Mark can tell you, the base is solid.
Okay.
The stuff that we brought in from the quarry was good material, had some big stone in there. And that's what the paver said. He walked out there to the gate, he goes, I don't foresee an issue with the base at all.
Okay.
We won't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I still plan on having the road paved, the ADAs in, that flume in, everything backfilled and seeded, before we can. So, and I'm still hoping that, you know, if we do get to pave this week, that we'll have it done by the end of the month.
Okay.
And we're gonna continue working on Saturdays as much, I mean, we've kind of shifted out, cause we're kind of at a standstill for BWC.
Sure.
But once we can get back in, we plan on getting everything done. Like I said, even working, continuing back on Saturdays to get it all done.
Like you said, the base is good, but Mark, we're gonna be inspected there for some reason, if, you know, with all the rain, we go on and the base does turn sour
Yeah.
to pull the pin or.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the idea of, you know, obviously we did the proof roll before putting the base stone down, but you know, if it's at all questionable, and it might be if you guys are trying for Thursday, depending on what happens on Wednesday, I think it'd be a good idea to proof roll the.
We can run a truck across it again.
Just run the truck across it, let us take a quick look before you do the paving, and then that way you guys can be rest assured that when the concrete trucks come in there and they're not running it up ahead of the paver
Yeah.
or anything like that. So.
That'd be great, 'cause I mean, we have streets that have had that happen to us, you
Yeah.
know, we just don't need to go through that again.
Right, right.
Not that you will, but
Yeah.
we just.
And I was talking with the paver guy too, and run it by you guys while we're here. It sounds like he would like to try to bring the trucks in from maybe Hope Hope Street. Build a rock ramp off of Hope, at the end of Hope Street, bring the trucks in, and then send them out the county road. That way they're just coming in and backing up.
Yeah.
I understand why you wanna do that, but I hate to do that.
Yeah.
That's why we put the access to the highway and bringing all those heavy trucks over top of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
On 6 inches, we went to 7 for that reason.
Right.
That's what they sold us on.
Yeah.
And I get that too.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a good idea. I mean,
Oh,
it's
there's
gonna
gonna
help what we're trying to do on the new addition, you know?
Right.
Hold that base up, but that's a lot of traffic on that,
Yeah.
on Hope Street.
Yeah, that's gonna get a lot of traffic once the houses get started built and all that,
I
agree
prefer
with
not
that.
to,
Yeah,
you know?
nope, that's completely understandable.
I guess I prefer not to. I
I prefer.
I agree.
I mean, the cement up there is pretty good already, I like to, you know, for how old it is, I like to keep it that way.
Like to keep it that way.
As long as possible. Yeah, that's why we went with the 7 inches, I guess, to the
That's why we got the county access to the county road.
road. So, yeah, if you can stay off that as much as possible, that'd be, oh,
Nope, we can do that.
Appreciate that. So what actually is the paving, dirt work, seeding, that's what's left?
Yeah, and then we just gotta go back in and touch up those swales.
Yep.
After the utilities got in.
Are you hydro seeding everything then, or is that how, or not?
I can't remember, like, yeah,
hydro seeds, that were like they spray.
Yeah.
like that green.
I'm just curious, cause you know, this, it'll take a lot faster,
Yeah.
We get a couple more days, we might.
It says right here, just conventional, under the seating, type 1.
Conventional seeding,
Conventional seeding.
fertilizing and mulching, type 1.
Conventional can mean anything, you know, you out there throwing out there.
Second apple seed.
I can touch base with them, in worst case scenario, if it is just actual conventional where it's, the straw, we've got a hydro seeder ourselves, that it wouldn't take probably maybe 2 loads to come in after he puts the straw down, that we spray the hydro seed on top of it, just to get the straw to stay down and not blow away.
Yeah, that might be an issue too, because.
Being out there in the
Through the
open.
winter,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
wide open.
Yeah, we might have some complaints with the neighbors, so.
Well, it's just, I guess, before we get to that point, let's kind of see how this fall goes and early winter and see where we're at, I guess. Maybe if we get enough moisture, maybe it won't be an issue, but.
Well, without getting, let's just say we don't get good seed growth, we probably won't at this point, you know, will there be any silt fence put in, you know, with our storm sewer, stuff like that, that we don't?
We'll put, we can put socks or silt fence in front of those, flared end sections on the side streets. And there's only one intake that we can, kind of protect. I don't think I wanna put anything in it. We can put a straw sock around it to, keep the dirt out of it. And then if it gets to a point where it is holding water, you can always just lift that sock up and let the water run through and then put it back down.
Is that in the actual grate? 'Cause I've seen them where they put them in the actual grate.
We got ones that, like, sometimes we just put a sock around it, around the grate itself,
Yeah,
to keep the.
And we don't have
silt out.
much for storm sewer on this,
Yeah.
cause there's just no place for it to go.
Yeah, just that one.
We got some culverts and
Culverts.
one down in the end.
Where we can put some silt fence in front of those to protect at least the culvert pipe.
We could have a little protection there just without, you know, any wide
Yeah.
open dirt. It's gonna
Right.
be,
right.
you know, and especially in the spring when things start, you know, coming, it's gonna, you won't have good grass growth at that point.
Yeah, that might be a good idea to try and protect them
You
somehow.
know, it'd be
if we
something
can.
we'll wanna talk with our guys, then, you know, Brandon does that, then we'll have to, it'd be a maintenance item for us then, to keep an eye on, you know.
Yeah, that's a good thought, I never really thought of that. Probably more of a spring issue.
I mean, yeah, we know that we're getting outside of the seating window here. We'll do everything that we need to do to get it protected for the winter, so.
Okay.
That'd be helpful.
One thing they were gonna do is to put kinda like a berm, you know how the water flows off the football field and onto the property? Kinda get just a little bit of a berm to direct that flow to the south swale, so it's not coming down, straight down onto the pavement areas there, so.
Good.
Okay. Well, any other questions regarding up there? I guess, Brandon, you know where we sit, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
As soon
guess
as
I was
possible,
just-
but, you know, I know there's a fine line there too, where we don't wanna push it, you know, and do
Yeah,
something,
no, neither.
do something, so.
If we get it where it's just where I gotta come in and touch seed up in the spring, that's
Right.
what I want.
Yeah,
I wanna do.
Well,
Yeah.
Brandon, I wish you would've just come in here earlier and explained things that, hey, we're not gonna meet this deadline, or this is going on, you know.
Yeah.
And, that would've went a little bit farther with me, I think.
Yep, no, that's,
But I understand how construction goes. So,
Yeah. And sometimes the owner doesn't like us to get too involved with councils and stuff like that, but, I mean, this was, I didn't even tell him I was coming, cause, you know, it can go one or two ways with him, so.
Well, I guess we just want it done right, and
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's our
that's,
main goal, I guess, or main concern.
and I think,
that's the biggest thing.
I mean, these guys that we have paving, I mean, we've done jobs in Iowa City with them in Cedar Rapids, and they're one of the better pavers that we've done business with, so I think in the end, the street, wise, you'll be very happy with it.
Okay, good.
Good deal. Well, we appreciate all the hard work this summer and getting us to this point, so we appreciate you coming in.
Yep, and like I said, I'll keep Mark abreast of with this rain and see.
Yeah, yep,
Cause I told the ENF guy that I was gonna call him at the end of the day tomorrow too, to see where they were sitting,
Sure.
so.
okay,
Alright,
sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, sir, appreciate it. Okay,
Thanks.
yep.
let's move on then to
Number 9.
number 9. Mark, do you have anything else for that? Okay. Okay, number 9, discuss and consider approval of payment request number 4, in the amount of $263,943.33 for BWC Excavating, LC. So, I don't know that we really have much,
They did a lot of work up
yeah,
there, which
yeah,
Yeah.
shows it in the amount that's
yeah.
due.
Let's-
Gotta pay for the work that's done.
Yep,
Right.
pretty much.
I don't think holding anything would be right. They got operating costs and bills and food.
Okay, any other discussion on that? If not, can I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve payment request number 4 in the amount of $263,943.33.
Second,
I'll second.
and roll call, please.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Number 10, discuss and consider approval of payment request number 9 in the amount of $5,000 and city approval of project work for Staub Construction. So Mark, what do you kind of?
Yep, they've, done a great job out there, Staub did, we had a final walkthrough and a few little items to take care of. You can see listed on the final completion letter there, they needed to replace or fix a controller touchpad for the VFD out there, and I don't know, just both of them, you'd hit the button and it wouldn't be reactive, and I think Mitch went out there and fixed that, since this letter was written. I think we're good there on both of these items actually, but
Okay.
very successful project, so
Yeah.
nothing to complain about there.
No, I would say pretty much went off without a hitch.
Yeah,
Couple things here and there, but that's,
yeah,
normal.
yeah, it went well.
How's the operation going as far as our people?
Good, there's been some questions, like recently we've been dealing with this, and you guys are under contract with us to kinda have a commissioning stage now that it's going to deal with any issues. We've had a lot of foam coming up out of there at different times. We talked to, the nitrox supplier, and apparently when this bacteria that you're putting in this, when it's young and growing, it kinda could create a lot of foam there. We're giving them some information about the amount of oxygen we're putting in and some other factors, and they may ask us to dial the blowers down a little bit, but, the suppliers continue to work with us, and your guys are doing a good job as far as understanding how, the system works, so nothing unexpected, but be doing a few tweaks, to kinda make sure that everything is going as it should be out there, so.
Good. Perfect.
Any anticipation of problems going into winter?
Problems? No, no anticipation of any. And that's the key time, really, that's the catalyst to this project was, higher ammonia levels during the cold weather, you know, and that's where this is really gonna be put to the test. Is it doing what it's supposed to do and helping you meet your limits? So we feel like you've got a good system and it should be, no problem, so,
Good deal.
yeah.
Alrighty, any other questions for Mark regarding that? If not, I will ask for a motion of approval.
Make a motion to approve payment request number 9, the amount of $5,000 to Stop Construction.
Second?
Second.
And roll call, please.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Peterson.
Yes.
Number 11, discuss and consider approval of the proposal for geotechnical engineering services from Terracon for the sponsored project.
All right, so the catalyst for this proposal was the last meeting. I was not at it, but both Cody Austin and Kristen Crawford were there, and Teresa, I think you were at the meeting also, right? So Amy Buska, one of the DNR reviewing people for this project, had talked about it'd be a good idea to have a geotechnical proposal to better understand the soil strata out at the pond area. Amy had mentioned a concern about sand seams. So Terracon, what they'll do is they'll look for those sort of things, they'll check infiltration rates and make a recommendation as to whether some sort of a liner would be warranted in order to achieve what the city wants to achieve there. So this is not and the cost for this, it's $6,350, is that right? Yeah, $6,350. This is not a cost that we had in either our engineering agreement or what we had estimated for total project cost.
Yeah, that was my main question, I guess, if this was something that kind of just came up and
Yeah, it is.
through the process
It is
that we had
something
to.
that's come up in the process and
Well, you know, that was mine too, Mark.
yeah,
What the hell happened?
yeah. I understand your question there, so,
But it's pointed more from the DNR to have this done,
yeah.
so there's not a lot we can do about it.
I don't feel like it unless can you tell me, was it different than that
I
at the
don't
meeting?
feel like there's
Any way around it.
any way around it.
Yeah.
And they've really been hesitating on this project, right? I mean, this is just,
You know,
this
this
should
process is
have been
killing.
approved.
If I told you how much we've spent on engineering fees that I'm not charging you guys, it's astonishing. I've over doubled what our contract was. We maybe, I don't even know what it is right now. But it just we continue to go on the hole and you're paying nothing. Everything that Cody and Kristen are spending on this, it's just wiped away.
So this really shouldn't hurt much more than it should.
Yeah.
But why the hesitation to approve what you guys had? What's?
You know, what I'm learning with this sponsored project process, you know, if I had to do over again, I wouldn't have went through this program, even with you getting this extra money. It's messed up the time frame on doing things. I'm losing my butt on the thing. It's just this, if it's $1 million project or if it's $100,000 project, which is what you have here, it's the same regulatory review process. And, you know, you've got so many sets of eyes on this with all these different opinions as to what needs to be done. And do we feel like we've got a sound engineering design? We do. Yet we have to go through all of these regulatory reviews, and it's a lethargic process, you know, they don't get back to us right away, and it takes all of them maybe huddling together after they get the reviews and making their comments, and, you know,
The last meeting, it was painful because they all need to be there. And I think it took Cody, I wanna say 3 to 4 weeks to get a meeting set up.
yeah, it's just, the process is crazy.
It's,
I'm learning a lot here, and,
they're worried about about feeding the geese. It's like, good grief. This isn't going to be, I mean, I guess.
They're really going through this thing with a fine tooth.
Oh, they had this consultant group and some of the things that were brought up.
In my opinion, you gotta put these things in perspective. We're talking about just a small pond, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, you've got all this regulatory stuff associated with it, and it's killing us all around.
So if you were happy with your design first, and obviously we trust you on that, has your design gone backwards because of it? Are you not as happy with it now?
No, I don't think our design has suffered. It's just, I'm trying to get the design approved, you know?
It hasn't changed a lot, it's just all the regulatory.
Yeah, it's not changing. You're not losing integrity through the process. But it's like, we're trying to build a Swiss watch, you know? And we don't have to do that.
With the hole and you put water in.
Well, we can go do that, can't we? So, you know, if we spend this $6,000 for Terracon to come in, is that gonna win them over, or what's the next hurdle?
Good question. I don't know.
Seems like they just want us to spend money, like. I don't know.
They're probably going to be worried next there's some endangered species up there.
I don't know.
You
what
just
to
don't know.
expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just, things come out of some of the things that have been brought up.
So are they worried that it's not gonna hold water? Is that why they want
That's what this seems to be, the sand seams that she was concerned with. If there isn't a pond seal on it, like a clay liner of some sort, then you may have trouble holding water in that in between rain events.
Okay.
So be it.
Kind of the way
It
I.
doesn't have to be full all the time.
It's a
Yeah.
retention tool.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
That's
I mean,
okay.
the intention was, and what we talked with you guys about, is there could be, you know, fishing attraction to it also, but.
We're not advertising that to sell lots up there.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it's a nice place where people can go walk up there.
Yeah, we're
They
doing it
take
to
the
protect our
grandkids up,
relation.
get fishing. I mean, it's not.
It's purely functional.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Okay.
So basically they do this and it's more or less, yeah, you need a liner or you don't need a liner. Kind of what I kind of briefly read in that, right?
How much is a liner?
That's the start of it. Stop.
Good question.
Just put
Put a liner.
yeah,
Okay,
if
you
the
talk
liner's
just
3,000, we have
like
like
a clay
6,000
liner
for
or
rubber
clay
liner.
Or if it's 6,000, yeah, then you're.
As far as I'm concerned, a minimal clay liner would cover what you need, you know?
That's gonna be extra cost on the project to haul in materials, and
Yeah. if we
I think it's
don't-
kinda hard to back out now, but.
Right.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that was gonna be my next question is what if we don't approve this? I mean, what's the next?
I don't know what the implications of that would be. I didn't discuss that with Cody and Kristen or even, you know, the DNR regulatory people. What if the city doesn't wanna do this?
Well, is it really going to put us any further behind if we go back to Cody and Kristen and talk about this?
I don't
and
think so,
maybe-
cause we're not getting it constructed
Yeah.
this year.
We're not doing it.
Why don't I dig a little bit deeper on this and say, do we really need to do this? I mean, let's say the city's okay with occasionally this thing drains down because there's not rain, is there a problem there?
Right, like we
I
get
don't
something
think
like
it's
we
still-
had.
Can we
think
still
that was
get the
our
project
intention
funded,
anyway.
is what it comes down to.
That's the biggest thing, yeah. I mean, is this
Liner,
gonna
not
hold
still
on?
Probably go empty.
Yeah.
Well, like Matt said, if they're concerned about, not holding water, this money could go towards a liner.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
And the city
if the
would be
liner's only
willing to
if
go
it doesn't
towards
hold
the
water,
liner.
that's fine, it's got that much
I'm
more
with you.
volume that when the heavy rains like it's supposed to hold what we want it to do.
Right.
It's a surge pond.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
And if you get wildlife in there, that's just a bonus.
right.
Yeah.
If you guys are in agreement with that way, you know, the only way it would be different is if we had a council in here that was like, we need we need a fishing sanctuary here, and it's not acceptable for it to drain down.
That wasn't the intention of the whole thing, it was.
Right.
That's a
That
side,
was
that's
an
a side,
added on
that's a side
possibility.
benefit if it's holding.
That's
down.
all it was.
Exactly, exactly. Yep. Yeah, just my opinion, I say we, you know, I would like to buck them on this and say it's not necessary, you guys are beating this thing to
Yeah,
a pulp.
A year like this, it would've been dry, 2 years ago, it would've been full.
Well, there you go, that's just it, it's so dependent on
What's
the
going-
summer.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's spring fed.
Heck, even if you got a clay liner, it doesn't mean that it won't.
You're right,
Well,
you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so if you got a clay liner and goes dry, you supposed to put supplemental water in it?
Yeah,
It's not a huge volume, it's not.
I agree with kind of the way you guys are looking at
Yeah,
it here, that,
I
hey,
agree with Matt, everyone else, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather spend that $6,000.
Yeah, they're
for something
misinterpreting
else.
our interpretation of why we want it.
yeah,
Right. I just don't like we're gonna be trying to support a bait store or anything up there.
right.
But is this part the DNR looking at more for the wildlife stuff? Is that why they're making us do
You know,
this?
that's a good question, you know, it's just, to me, it was a side benefit you guys were gonna have, and that's not really
The focus.
the focus, and I don't feel the funding should be tied to that pond
Right,
heavy fishing.
exactly.
Yep, that's not, if I had in my backyard that, I don't want a bunch of geese running through my yard
Yeah.
and defecating all over the place, I mean, that's not.
Right.
Um,
No, I think it's for the water to fluctuate up and down, catch the water.
It's to take, it's
And
to
if
take
there's
runoff.
fish in there, and so, that's the bonus part.
Right.
mhm.
That's how I look at it.
Well, let me find
But maybe
out.
they're looking at it, they want this to be a functional pond where people can fish.
Then we'll take donations.
Yeah,
Right. I think I understand the message I'm getting from you guys. I'll go back, talk to Cody and Kristen and report back to you on this.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, so then we will move on. Is that it for Mark?
Yep.
I think so. Council
Okay.
meeting's over, right?
It's close.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate your
Thanks, Mark.
patience and all the different things we're
Wow.
dealing with here to see
Yeah.
these projects through.
That's life.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, have a good evening,
You too,
everybody.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, number 12, discuss and consider resolution 2022-11, appointing Jessica Franzen and Jamie Gorman to the Housing Authority Committee. If you'll remember, Mary Gibson was the previous, appointee to this, committee, so she, kindly did it, I think, one more year last year. We asked her to do one
Yes.
more year, and so this is kind of just, taking the next step into letting her, get
Mary-
off that committee, so.
Yeah, Mary did a very good job and, you know, bless her soul, she
Yes.
passed away and
Yes.
now we have this, opening on the committee. We actually put it out on Facebook and Jessica Franzen actually came back to us and said that she would be willing to serve on this committee.
Awesome.
She does live outside of Preston, as does Jamie Borman, not that far, but, ECIA said they understand small towns. They are fine with our committee members being outside the city limits, so I think both of these people, would do a really good job for us.
We got people who wanna volunteer and help us out.
Well,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
how you gonna doubt it?
Yep, that's great.
No, I think it's good.
Okay, any other further discussion? If not, can I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-11.
Second,
I'll second.
and roll call, please.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Okay, 13, discuss and consider approval of resolution 2022-12, approving the covenants for the Preston number 2 Marvin subdivision. Anybody have any comments or concerns on anything regarding those?
I'll go back to the whole tree thing. Are we gonna have to change this if our ordinance in town changes where we can plant trees back in the ordinance, or is that just 100% controlled by the tree committee?
Well, I think we have to move forward with what we have in place right now.
Gotcha.
And then if it gets amended, then we come back to this.
Then we'll just have to come back and change this.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we can amend this as we go if we need, correct?
I guess,
I agree.
Yeah.
my opinion on this thing is, we're saying they can't build a house, any closer than 30 feet from the front line. To me, that's plenty of, they shouldn't have to put a tree between the sidewalk and the curb.
Yeah.
There should be plenty of property elsewhere to throw a tree in my opinion. Whether it's in the backyard or in the front, on the side, whatever they wanna do, so.
Yeah, I guess that's at least my concerns, I guess, getting houses put up there, but, yeah, I think there's plenty of room to put a tree.
But yeah, no, Matt brings up a good point, so if we do change that, yeah, obviously we'd have to come through it.
I mean, I think, like even with our building for our residential district and any of the ordinances we have, possibly there could be an exception or a reason that we go back and make a change.
Gotcha.
I'm just excited we finally get these to the table.
Yes. So once we approve them tonight, we can send them off?
Yes,
Okay.
they can go, I talked to the recorder today. I did get a book, they don't do book and page anymore, it's document number. So our plat is recorded, and I'll get these up to the recorder, they'll get recorded, and they can be sent out. And I have about 5-6 people that are waiting for these. We can also get these, has anybody looked at our website lately? So I'll be getting,
That last 2 weeks.
these up there. I've been getting it updated, sending them. Our agenda was up there on Friday, so, and the website is PrestonIowa.com. So, Cheryl and I are working to keep that updated and fresh pictures. And we had, the fire department's anniversary up there, we've got that down, now we got the Halloween party up there, so trying to keep it fresh so people can depend on going to the website.
Good.
Not to sidetrack there.
Yes, well,
No,
thank
that's-
you.
that's-
But
Yeah.
it will be,
That's what people want, if they wanna go find some information, that's what they're gonna.
That should be, yeah, and not to get off subject, but that should be the main place they can go and.
yep,
Yeah.
so we'll get the
For people.
plat up there, so people can actually see the lot, see the, how it is, and then also get the covenants up there, so. And I will get those covenants to Dave Heyer. We have different developers that are interested in Preston, Bellevue, Macokota, but, so certainly want to have that information available for them also.
Anybody have anything on here,
Line 16.
So, hold on. Let me look.
Yep.
okay,
All driveways shall be concrete. Only one driveway access for residential dwelling until permitted otherwise approved by the city president. All driveway locations and designs must be approved by the city of Preston prior to commencing construction of the same. Has anybody seen textured asphalt, imprinted asphalt?
I'll be honest with you, I don't care what you want it to be, I think as long as it's not gravel. I think what this one's going off from the St. Joseph edition, and what the covenants for that one.
I mean, there's asphalt drives now, it looks like pavers. To a point, it's just real nice looking.
Whole driveway should
long as you say in that, in the tail end of that, that it must be approved, I guess you're kinda,
Keeping it
Well,
open.
So,
Well, I don't know why it couldn't be either one, if you, you know, it
Yeah.
could be asphalt or concrete, I'm not, know what
it
concrete
says
would be hard surface.
unless otherwise
You know,
approved, so
It says
really,
shall, doesn't say must.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess I like the concrete, just to keep it uniform, but, you know, like you said, that's not to say, you know, that it can't be, something else can't
That
be.
someone, they can't come in here and say, I wanna,
That could be something if we said it tonight and somebody says, well, I don't wanna put concrete, I wanna put asphalt in, and we could look at changing it down the road.
Well, to me, I guess
well, it
it's
says
up-
other,
it's-
unless otherwise approved, right?
Right,
Yeah.
So that kinda
Council
leaves
could
it open
approve it.
where we could approve something else, right?
right.
Are we
Well,
getting that right?
you make it awful solid on that opening statement, that opening sentence.
Well, yeah, but
I
then
think
it says
that's-
unless otherwise,
I guess, to me, concrete should be the desired surface, but I guess, you know, it's not saying that anything else can't happen. Just my opinion.
I mean, we probably could go through every line and probably pick away at something, right? So.
And I wish you would have done this 6 months ago.
So, I don't know, I'm kinda looking at, let's just approve this and then let's worry about some of this down the line here. Right?
Well, and they made, I
I
mean,
mean, we're worried about driveways, trees,
if we,
we don't have a house on the thing yet. I mean, we don't have this project done, but.
I guess to me, you know, if somebody sees this and says, I don't agree with that, or, you know, I wanna do this instead, ultimately, they're gonna come here, you know, I
It
would
says
think.
unless otherwise approved. so
Right,
we can
right.
do-
Talk
we
to
can
us,
approve whatever we
so-
want.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's still kind of open-ended as far as, and not to say, you know, everything,
It's not
any little
written in
thing
stone.
should, right, right. But ultimately, they do have to come to the council.
They have to come to the council, they have to come to the office.
Gotta be
Well, we gotta
council.
approve their building
Yeah,
permit
that's
and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, since we don't have a zoning board.
Yeah, so I think this is fine with me as a start.
Yeah, I see Rich's point, but I agree with JT that, you know, if we need to, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And if there's one or two
Yeah.
sections that are really hanging us up and people are really complaining about that, well, then I think that we decide to change the whole. But until we have that, why not?
it was, the covenants were modeled after the St. Joe's edition.
Okay.
And then the attorney went through and just made sure that some of the things, that we were just following the legal aspect in case laws have changed. So you don't discriminate against anyone.
Okay.
Everybody okay with that, or?
Any more thought, Rich?
No, you picked on me enough. Sorry.
Well, someone's gotta keep you alive.
All right, unless there's any further discussion, I will ask for a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-12.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
14, discuss and consider approval of LIHWAP vendor agreement.
This agreement, was sent out and all of the cities are approving it. The reason being, you're not out anything. This group is actually helping people to pay for their water bills, so and they have to meet the financial guidelines. The city does not put any money towards this, so what it means is we will accept a check from these people.
Doesn't hold us up in
No,
collecting pay or anything that would help us out because,
yeah,
there you go.
So it's a win-win, we get,
Right.
Yeah.
help someone out, we get,
Hopefully
the city gets their
help people out
money.
who need it.
It doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, there's people out there need the help, so.
mhm.
Motion to approve.
Okay, second? And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Doherty.
Yep.
Okay, 15, other business, anybody have anything? One thing, the Halloween, that was included in your packets,
Yeah.
is that taking place of the costume contest they always have?
The Lions Club is working with, the Preston Growth and Development and the youth group, Jackie Randall.
Okay.
And they're doing this all together,
Awesome.
so.
So are they still gonna do the costume contest before trick or treating, or is it just this? I guess that was my main question.
Oh,
That was my main question.
I would have to check.
Yeah,
I think this
is taking place of it?
is taking place of
Okay,
it,
that's what I was wondering.
but
Okay.
I can
Sounds
double
like you got
check
some
on
young
that.
kids.
You gotta swing it.
Well, I was just curious, cause when it said the all ages, I was kinda curious if they were, and then I saw the Lions Club was included, and if they were still doing the.
I guess you'll stop down at Foley's and talk to Pansy, she's in that one.
Well, and if, yeah, I just
I
wanted to
think
get
it
it out
is.
there that if it was changing, so that people knew, so. No confusion,
Oh,
so.
that'd be good.
When's our trick or treat?
October
31st.
31st.
Actually on Halloween.
The hot tax section of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well. I will find that out then, so, okay, anybody have anything else? If not, I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
I'll second.
and roll call please.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Doherty.
Yep.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson.
Yes.